So, I'm trying to work out if there's enough light to do this video. In like the very last hours of the day, I just found out that it is 11:11. Okay, what are we gonna do? Sky. Yeah, I just found out that it's 11:11 because I've been going with the flow of things so much and taking this little sabbatical to meditate on some things, and wasn't so much keeping an eye on the earthly dates, right? The actual date, the days, the months, blah blah. 11:11. So the 11:11 portal is an activation portal. This is when there's a numerological date of significance that happens. So, for example, the 10th day of the 10th month, or the 11th day of the 11th month. And when we talk about 11:11 as a tarot reader, we talk about the 11:11 card, which is the Four of Wands, which is very much associated with divine union and very much associated with a celebration of life. So after some more heavy messages came through this morning, I thought maybe it would be nice if I caught the very last bit of sunset and pulled a few 11:11 cards for you, the Divine Harmonic Collective. Maybe I can turn this around. Hold up. Welcome to the jungle. Yeah, so divine unions, yeah? We're talking about divine union, whether this is a divine union between you and another person. Oh, that was just 222 as I said that, when I said divine union, which is also very balanced. There may be a Sagittarian energy involved. Please can you clear divine guidance be most beneficial for everyone involved. I also I've decided tomorrow I'm going to start explaining a little bit more of my craft, which is interesting that I really came to that decision on the 11:11 date without realizing it, because of course you cannot receive or totally offer divine union with another being, another energy, another even life path unless you have found a certain amount of divine union between the different parts of you, is what I'm hearing. Okay, so the first card to come out is the Lovers. Just interesting. Actually, if I flip this around, I think I can use a light. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay. So I can't see the screen anymore, so I'm not sure what it looks like. But the first card to come out is the Lovers. That's fucking amazing. For an 11:11 reading, that's incredible. Obviously, Lovers speaks of Gemini energy, the great mind, the conversational skills of Gemini. You may have Gemini in your chart. Be connected to it, Gemini. Lovers is also, like I was just saying, not just about holding love for another being, another person, but also about love of, I almost said the self, but it's more about having love between the light and the shadow, having a divine union between the angel that sits on one shoulder and the devil, hypothetically, that sits on the other. That's kind of amazing. Please give me clear and divine guidance. I also love that it's an 11:11 portal, because obviously portals are gateways to other spaces, other dimensions. And this morning I actually had this reconfirmation of messages coming through about this gateway that we are all moving towards collectively. I just want to also say that I know that it is, many of you may be sensing that there, I'm doing a lot of shadow work and just slowly, gently making decisions about the future of this channel, as well as the future of me as a channel, and where to use my magic the best, where can my powers go the best. And I have this like overarching feeling. It's interesting because archways also make me think about marriage, make me think about the 1111 card, which will be interesting if that comes out. Please give me clear and divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. But I didn't actually consciously realize that was coming up when I had this kind of spiritual knee-jerk reaction to a radio story that I heard the other day about the way that resources are being shared on this earthly plane, and some of the leaders who are not doing the right thing, right? So it's kind of nice, it feels nice to be bookending that with some positive messages around the 1111 portal. Obviously, for lots of you, this is a romantic reading, but for some of you, this is definitely about finding love between the different sovereign parts of you that make you whole, that make you a whole being, that make you a complete and complex person, as we all have the right to be. Yeah, so I feel like for my own self, not even for you the viewer, and I mean that in no disrespect, confirmation. For my own self, I'm going to start talking about some of the realities of the spirit work that I've been doing. Yeah, like I almost feel like I need to do some like confessional type videos. And I feel like that's going to help in removing some roadblocks to the path ahead that will help. You may be experiencing this as well, about like knowing what is good for you to be receiving at this time. And that's interesting that the card of the Lovers comes up, because obviously divine union is about giving and receiving. You cannot do one without the other, and you also need to be able to give and receive from your own cup, from your own fountain, from your own well. And interesting, I've also been having a lot of messages coming through about the ark, about the story of Noah's ark, and those messages were coming through before some of the big quote-unquote natural disasters that have happened in the last 2 weeks. Please give me clear and divine guidance. So it's interesting that, of course, the Lovers card has a depiction that is connected to the Garden of Eden. Please give me clear and divine guidance that will be most beneficial for everyone involved. I can see a star system in my mind's eye. Like I can see a constellation. Stargazing may be a good opportunity at this time, especially if that's a good way for you to meditate. You have to remember that meditation comes in all different forms, and people cannot be so judgy about the way that you are on your own spiritual path. But yeah, so I feel this like weird confessional energy coming into the collective. You may feel the need to confess something. You may be receiving a confession. And then we get the Sun card. Leo energy, um, illumination, revelations, the reveal. I'm hearing what needs to be illuminated in the light of the sun in order to bring the deepest monsters from the bottom of the sea is what I'm hearing. So oceanic healing, you may be a water sign or be connected to a water sign. Obviously Scorpio energy is big in the collective right now. We're all going through such big deaths and rebirths, so people need to like lay off with the judgment of each other. And then we have the Three of Swords, heartache, devastation. So I was just talking about the rebirthing. So I'm seeing the rebirthing happening from the heart space. So almost like the healing of the inner child has been taking place within the heart space of each of us within the collective. Let's get a few more 1111 messages before I go back in, make me some dinner. Protective work at this time, especially as we come towards the closing of such a time connected to spirits and ghosts. There may be a lot of spirits wherever you are. You may be becoming more sensitive to spirits. It's interesting, I'm being drawn to do some confessional type videos talking about my lived experience as a medium. Sometimes I just feel like I'm just so telepathic and like I'm just channeling all the time. It's like, how do I be in this reality, right? And with that we have the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. I mean, you could definitely see that as a balancing between two different sides of the divine feminine energy. So this could be the divine feminine within you, or the divine feminine that you are connected to, or the divine feminine energy within whoever you're connected to. The Queen of Swords is air sign energy. Queen of Swords is definitely a lot more cutthroat, a lot more logical, a lot more 3D based. Queen of Cups is more emotional, connected to emotional intelligence, connected to the deep well of emotions that lies within the heart space. So finding a balance between these, so somebody could be balancing these frequencies out in order to find divine union is what I'm hearing. And if you've been following my work, you know I don't do that many love readings specifically. Like I don't, but Ace of Cups, a new beginning in love. And what's the most important love? The love of self. Okay, well, let's just see what's underneath the tarot deck. And of course, the High Priestess. This means you should probably look at the video that I made this morning, which was titled, if I'm not mistaken, Many Want to Own the High Priestess, or something along those lines. This is like I'm hearing a celebration of the High Priestess, a celebration and a returning of there's a millipede. That's so interesting. Millipede, so that makes me think about multi-dimensional travel. It makes me think about crossing many timelines and that kind of octopus energy of having supreme intelligence. So there's something coming through about emotional intelligence connected to the frequency of the High Priestess. The setting sun is very peachy colored, very like peaches, apricots. There was pink before, and this beautiful glowing sky blue. And I believe I just saw the first bats flying overhead. I love bats. Yes. Oh. I love bats. So bats also, to me, very much speak of um, finding the beauty that others cannot see, is what I'm hearing. So there's something about the collective individually coming into alignment with their true higher selves by very deep, very dark shadow work that not everyone is up to, right? Not everybody is in the High Priestess and the Queen of Swords again. So these are two tarot decks combined, if you couldn't tell. So to me, that speaks of allowing intuition to speak louder than logic at this time, which is definitely, every numerological portal, astrological portal, such as the 1111, is a chance to call in or manifest abundance, or in this case, your heart's desire. And then we got the Hierophant, and I've always thought that the Hierophant is the divine counterpart of the High Priestess. So, ooh, wowza. Okay, let's close that off with, let me see if I can, I wonder if we can see the bats. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being there. I've had a whole day of weaving. I don't know if you can see the bats, but I promise they're there. I love how bats have sonar. Like, there's something that's it's very like telepathy, very much like astral, very otherworldly to me, the way that bats can sense and that they basically see through sonar. So there's something significant about that as well. You can't see that. Maybe you can. In order to see the abundance that you are calling in on this 1111 portal, you must be able to see through the gateway that is not yet on the horizon, is what I'm hearing. So a bit like the bats being able to see through other senses. Just funny because I channeled a message not that long ago about seeing with feelings. It's like the next chapter, in order for the right alignments to come together, whether they be romantic, platonic, business, creative, and we are all archetypes. Like sometimes I feel like I am just an archetype, like this eternal muse, and I guess that's part of being a medicine woman. That's part of being a shaman. And thank you to everybody who has patiently been part of this journey. It's been a wild ride. And the stars. The bats and the stars, that's so beautiful. That's just like happy 11/11. If this video has found you particularly on the 11/11 portal, on the date, on this gateway, this astrological gateway in the sky, in the heavens, in the turning of the earth, then that is a sign that there is some kind of divine union coming towards you, whether that is a person or a divine union between The two halves of you is what I'm hearing. That's it. Wow. They're pretty swoon-worthy cards, I must say. Shout out to the High Priestesses and the Hierophants. Because, yeah, in terms of spiritual ascension, it's getting serious. So much love from Codes of Harmony.